Kicking off our first speaker spotlight is Mrs. Terri Fedonczak. Ms. Terri is an author, speaker, and certified life coach. As executive director of Girl Power for Good Foundation, she coaches girls of all ages, as well as female entrepreneurs and corporate teams, to reduce stress and improve their quality of life at the Foundation's 22,000 square foot facility in Valparaiso, Florida. Mrs. Fedonczak coaches the 850 Elite Volleyball Academy junior teams to improve their cooperation and resilience on and off the court. This is where she practices the Foundation's mission of empowering girls for the greater good. Please help me welcome Terri Fedonczak to the stage.
Thank you so much. You see, I leapt out here. I couldn't wait to get out here. Thank you guys so much for coming. And today I just wanted to let you know that I have beautiful slides of beautiful scenery and beautiful animals because I have a thing for lionesses. And I'm going to tell you why, but just know that none of these photos were purchased. These were all taken by myself and my husband. And if you like a photo and think it's great, it was probably taken by me. Just kidding. All right, so this is my company is Girl Power for Good. I have 4 daughters, and so I have a little bit of history in empowering girls. And my youngest was in volleyball, and I decided that I would try to coach her volleyball team to be more resilient because girls tend to fold if things go wrong on the court. I don't know if any of you have children in sports? Yeah, you've seen it. It goes south sometimes. So I thought if I could help these girls as a team, I would be spreading Girl Power for Good. And then 2010 came. So from August of 2010 to September of 2011, I got diagnosed with breast cancer, had a mastectomy, lost my father and my mother. I commonly refer to this as the year of things that sucked. It was bad. However, I will say that from my kind of cushy commercial real estate job, this shook me. Breast cancer shook me to my core because I was a health nut. I worked out, I ate well, and I had breast cancer? How does that even work? I was mad. And in my travels, I ran across Dr. Martha Beck, who had a life coaching program, and I thought, I'm gonna check this out. And I took a leave of absence from my work, and I started life coach training. So from this year of things that sucked, where everything looked dark, and there were things in the water that you just couldn't see, but you know they were bad, from that came Africa. So Dr. Martha Beck leads a life coach retreat to South Africa, and it's one of her favorite places, and I thought, this is what I need. I had been working on my book. I wrote a parenting book, and I thought, I really need some inspiration. When I went to Africa, it was a whole new world opened to me. This is the feeling of Africa. It's calm, it's serene. The people are deep. They speak to you and look you in the eye. They're not on their phones all the time. They are soulful people, and I fell in love. But I really fell in love when we saw the lionesses. So this is the alpha lioness. Isn't she beautiful? She taught me everything I ever wanted to know about leadership. And just to save you guys the 16-hour flight to South Africa, I'm going to teach you here and now. She is the leader of the pride because normally lions are weird, y'all. So she's the leader of a group of lionesses and cubs. The males, their job is really to defend territory and also to procreate. That's what the males do. The females do everything else. I'm just going to leave that right there. I'm not going to make a comment. So they're busy. They have gone against their solitary cat nature to support each other. And when the ranger told me about this, it's like the top of my head opened up and the sun shone in, because here I was working with these girls on the volleyball court, and they were competing, but also competing against their teammates. When things went awry, they didn't support each other. I thought, if I can talk about the lionesses and how they support each other, this will be something that they can grab onto. So the most important thing about the leadership of the Pride, and this transfers to our own human leadership, is, as the general was talking about, self-care. So you guys need to put that self-care first if you're going to lead a team. Lots of water. Hopefully your water's a little cleaner than that water, because that's pretty much a puddle, y'all. But it's really important to have good nutrition, lots of water, and sleep. Who sleeps more than 6 hours a night? Well done. Very good. You need 8. Just saying. And if you have a team or a workplace that is very stressful, you need at least 8. The more stressful your work, the more sleep you need. Now, these are lionesses, and the one in the middle is a young male lion. Lionesses, lions in general, sleep 15 to 20 hours a day, because the other, whatever the math is, 4 to 6 hours, they're busy, right? They're hunting, they are protecting their pride, they're making sure of their survival, they're making sure that they don't just survive, they thrive. They need that sleep in order to make that happen. Now, once again, the males sleep 18 to 20 hours, and the females only sleep 15 to 18 hours. Again, they have a lot to do. So I think you all have heard of the fight or flight response for our central nervous system. Has everyone heard about fight or flight? Has everyone experienced fight or flight? Has everyone experienced fight or flight today? Okay. So we have an alternate central nervous system response called rest and digest. In order to get into that central nervous system, you have to be able to come out of fight or flight. The easiest, quickest way to do that is to breathe. So we're going to all do it together right now. Everybody sit up straight. Come on. Yep. Away from the back of your chair. Thank you. Uncross your legs. Put your hands in your lap. Palms facing upward if you'd like to receive. Palms facing downward if you just need to ground right now. Everybody close their eyes. I will protect you, I promise. We're going to all inhale into our belly, into your belly. Put your hand on your belly. As you inhale, your belly is going to expand like a baby. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Open your eyes. Little different, tiny. I saw shoulders coming out of ears. That's really important, because when we breathe with our shoulders as earrings, we will never get a full breath. Full diaphragmatic breathing is so important in order to take your body out of that fight or flight, to take the blood that is in your extremities, preparing you to flee or fight, and put it back in your brain where you can think about things clearly. Extremely important for self-care. So I meditate every day because I have a brain that's like a squirrel on Red Bull. So every single day, at least 10 minutes. I highly recommend the Headspace app. If you haven't done it, try it. It makes a huge difference. And the most important thing, go outside. We live in the most beautiful area, And we can go outside and look at the water. There's so many places in the United States that can't do that. Go outside and look at the water. And even better, exercise outside. Then it's a twofer. You're getting a little exercise to reduce your cortisol. You're getting perspective that we are a small cog in this giant machine that we call life. Go outside. Also, don't forget to play. I cannot stress enough that if you have a stressful work environment, please, especially if you're the leader, please be open to play. Keep a sense of humor. It is the fast pass to bonding your team together. If you can laugh together, you can work together. This is uber important, and we're coming on to the portion of the talk that is not so happy snappy. So you want your team, you and your team, to be moving in the same direction, on the same track. And yes, that is the bumper of the Land Rover that I was sitting in when I took this one, when I took this picture. That is how close you get to the Lionesses at Longelozzi Game Reserve. This is not a plug for Longelozzi Game Reserve, but there. So you have to be moving in the same direction. The way to do that is to explain to your team what direction you want to move in. If you're not communicating with your team directly, you're not giving them, first of all, the mission for your team. Mission is so important. If you can define the mission for your team, then a lot of things are already explained because they know what kind of team we are. What is our goal? Where are we going? How long is it going to take us to get there? And what's in between? Defining mission will help you tremendously in making sure your team are going in the right direction. But it doesn't always happen that way. So sometimes you'll have a couple of team members or pride members that will sort of go off in their own direction. If they are surrounding themselves with drama and trying to sort of pull away from the direction of the team to make themselves more important, we call that an emotional vampire because they suck all the life out of the room. Has anyone ever experienced an emotional vampire? Anyone? Thank you for being honest. If you didn't raise your hand, you're probably it. No, I'm kidding. That's not true. But emotional vampires are really, really toxic for teams that have big goals. So you want to be able to sort of figure out who that is. Won't be hard. Just ask the rest of your team. And you may even have to cull them from your pride or your team. In fact, the Lioness Pride, I actually talked to a ranger last week about this, and they will, if there's a lioness that puts her needs above the needs of the pride, they will cull her from the pride. They will send her on her way. And I know that sounds terrible and cruel, but the health of the team, the health of the pride is paramount. It does not behoove you to allow someone like an emotional vampire to take that down. So you have to be courageous. As your team leader, as your alpha male or female, you have to be courageous enough to put your money where your mouth is and do the right thing for the team. So this is just a perfect illustration of what problems look like. Sometimes those emotional vampires or other problems that affect your team, you only see a little bit. So you only see just like eyes and ears, and you think, I don't need to attend to that now. It's not big enough to attend to. However, if you don't attend to problems when they're small, have the courage to do that. Have the courage to do the right thing. Yes? There we go. They will become bigger. Now, that hippo is life size. That's exactly the size it is in real life. It's as big as a Volkswagen Bug. They are the most Dangerous creatures in Africa, for sure. You never get between a hippo and a body of water. They will mow you down. There's actually more deaths from hippos than there are from lions. Fun fact. If you handle those problems before they get bigger, it won't take an army to put them down. It will actually make your team stronger because you've done that. Sometimes as a leader, you feel adrift. You don't know, you're not on solid ground, you don't know which way you're going, but you feel as a leader that you must know this yourself. Like, you're the leader, you have to do this yourself. No, you don't. Ask for help. If you ask for help, especially from your Pride members, they will see that you value them. They will see that their opinion counts. And also, if you can lead from the trenches, if you can lead with vulnerability, your team will respect you more. Your pride will follow you anywhere. I can't stress enough that the difference between a leader and a boss is at the top of a power structure. That doesn't mean they're a leader. Have we all had bosses that weren't leaders? Yeah. Have we all had bosses that were kind of in it for themselves? Have we all had bosses that have taken credit for our work? That happens. If you've got a pride that has a leader and you have culled your emotional vampires out of your pride, you're going to need some new pride members. New pride members typically are a little difficult to train. Sometimes they do silly stuff. Honestly, I just wanted to talk about this picture. Is this the cutest picture? Look at it. So they will try your patience. They'll talk a lot, especially if they're Gen Z. Anybody got Gen Z on their team? I have 4 girls that ran the gamut from millennial to Gen Z. The Gen Zers talk the most. They have a lot of opinions, and they want to tell you all of their opinions. Be patient. Be kind. Because if you get them on your side and get them to trust you, they'll work like dogs for you. Don't hog the spotlight. As I said, we've all had that boss that did that took credit for our work. Don't be that boss. Be a leader. Show appreciation to your team. Often. Laugh with them. Joke with them. And they will stay in your pride. It's infinitely easier to treat the people that you have right and train them well than continually get new people in your team. We have almost reached the end of our road today. But before I wrap up, I wanted to ask, do we have questions? I heard that we had some questions. Do a little Q&A. Hi.
I have a question. It says, what are your morning rituals and what do the first 60 minutes of your day look like?
That's a great question. So I already talked about meditation, and that is a big part of my morning ritual. I'm going to give this a whirl and try to get this, ta-da! I do meditation every morning. I also work out every morning. Again, the cortisol that comes from that whole fight or flight thing, which is that's how my brain is wired. I have to combat that with really good self-care. So really good nutrition, I work out every morning, and I meditate every morning, and I also do morning pages, journaling, because if I can dump the weirdness in my brain onto paper, I can make my day worthwhile. I can do something powerful. Anything else, Sandra?
No more questions.
That's it? Okay, good. That was an easy one. Okay, so, oops, can we go back to the lioness? There we go. If you don't remember anything but just this, Being a leader is not a destination, it's a journey. Every morning, I want you to think about these beautiful animals. I want you to look deep into their eyes right now and remember this. And commit yourself to being the best leader, the strongest leader you can possibly be, because then that will make your pride even stronger. So in order to sort of cement that into your brain, I would like for all of us to roar right now. Can we do that? Right? Yeah, we can? Okay. I'm not going to make you, yeah, I am. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. It's better. I promise. Okay, this is going to be, yeah, you can beat your chest. That's a gorilla thing, sir, but that, whatever. You can just stand firmly. Look at the lions. And then 1, 2, 3, then we roar. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Roar! That was pitiful. One more time. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Roar! Much better. Thank you so much for your time.
Forgot I had a choice. I let you push me.